This is a brief video on how to use the Civic Engagement Scholars Checklist. There are several ways to access the checklist. In most reminders that Cecil sends you about the Scholars Program, we'll be sure to include the link, but one easy way is for you to bookmark it so it's easily accessible. But another way you can find the link is you can go to the CASE website. Any page would work. I'm on the Cecil page right now, and just search Scholars Checklist. You'll notice the first result that comes up you can click on, and it takes you to this page, and a link to your checklist is right here at the top. So you can go ahead and click on that. And in some cases it'll ask you to use your case ID to log in. In this case I'm already logged in, but this is my personalized checklist that tells me how I'm doing with the program. As a reminder, this first area that says training sessions, you don't actually have to do anything with. These are updated by Cecil staff based on your attendance at the required program orientation in the fall and the social justice teach-in in the spring, which are the two required scholars trainings. So you can see I attended the fall orientation, so I have a check mark right there. In terms of community focused programs, scholars have to attend 3, and this is the way that you will log them through this checklist. You'll go ahead and click on this arrow, and if you need a reminder of what counts as a community focused program, you can click on this link. But if you've attended a program and are just ready to submit your reflection, you can go ahead and click here. And it'll just ask you the name of the program, the date, which of these categories of program it falls under. You can check more than one if you'd like, and then what you learned from the program. As a reminder, community-focused programs don't have to be pre-approved by Cecil. We do keep a list of options just for your reference, but you can count any program as long as it relates to one of these 4 categories. So you go ahead and submit the form, and once you do that, you'll see a check appear right here. So if I had actually submitted something, I'd see a green check appear. So make sure you do that 3 times, and that's how you log your community-focused programs. In terms of this area about service hours, there's 2 sections you need to be most concerned about. The first is your primary site selection. So this is how you're going to tell Cecil what your primary site is. And as a reminder, your primary site is the nonprofit or school in the Cleveland area where you're going to serve at least 25 hours. So if you go ahead and click on that arrow and link, it'll ask you some basic information about your site, and you'll submit that form, and that'll let us know. If at any point your primary site changes, unfortunately you can't update that yourself, so you'll just go ahead and email us at Cecil and tell us about the change, and we will make that adjustment for you. In terms of logging your hours, you can actually click on either of these arrows. It'll take you to the same place, and you'll click here to enter new service hours. And so this is what your time entry looks like. You can see I already entered some hours, but if I want to create a new entry, I just click on this plus mark and say on September 2nd, I went to Hope Lodge and I logged 4 hours there. That's how I would log that part. If it was my primary site, I would click this box. If I was getting paid for my time at Hope Lodge, either through work study or through an internship, or if I was getting credit because it was part of a class, I would click this box. And then to submit my hours, I click the check mark. And as you can see, my hours at Hope Lodge got logged. The nice thing is this does help you keep track of how you're doing with the program. So you can see in this case, I said the Cleveland Food Bank's my primary site, and I had logged 3 hours there. So I have 3 out of my 25 primary site hours logged, but I volunteered at the Hope Lodge, which counts towards other hours, and so I have 7 hours towards my 50 total. So again, nice way to just keep track of how you're doing. Then the last piece of the checklist is your final reflection. So when you're ready, you would just click on that little arrow and click on that link, and it'll bring you to a few short answer questions that help you reflect on your experience as a civic engagement scholar. One thing to note about the final reflection, you don't have to be completely done with the program to submit it. So I often suggest you go ahead and submit your final reflection sometime in the spring semester in March or April before things get too busy for you. So that is the overview of the Civic Engagement Scholars Checklist. Of course, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us at the Cecil office.